I probably shouldn't say this, but these Jewish women are enjoying a lunch at a restaurant when the waiter walks over and he says, "Is anything okay?"
Okay, and I thought you were going to say, "Is everything okay?"
Right,
and then
no, the whole thing was based on the ethnicity, or is it ticity or snicity?
Ethnicity.
On the synchronicity.
You're adding too many
of the people involved,
syllables,
and not the punchline itself.
Too many syllables.
The punchline, if you didn't catch who they were and where they were from, the punchline wasn't. It wouldn't have.
I got a lot of questions why we missed last week, and I think we should clear this up right now.
Okay, let's count to
before
3.
Before we get going.
You say the reason we missed last week. I'll tell you the reason we missed last week. 3. 1, 2, 3.
I was being a little bitch.
Yeah, that's why we missed last week.
Both of those?
Both. There was really only one reason.
Well,
I could have got out of rehab.
I think what I said is more accurate.
But you're being a little bitch.
I was being pouty. I was being a little bit pouty. Well, not really. I just was... People don't really know the behind the scenes. They don't hear behind the scenes here. The kind of torment that we feel in delivering a good podcast product.
Yeah.
And our big issue is not content now, because we've got content.
Up the yin yang.
Which reminds me, do you have anything to talk about today?
Nothing. It came up. I was on the internet. I'm hoping to.
There's nothing on there.
I hit Google search and I typed in anything and then I hit enter.
So as you will have heard earlier, we have a new intro song, which I'm going to throw in there when I do the editing.
Well, you've already heard the song by now.
Well, they would have heard it.
Oh.
Great, so that's a new
great
intro.
song. Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that song, John? It was really poppy.
I think it was written and produced by Mick and the Finns, a Vancouver band that used to bounce at the Commodore. Really? I thought it was Okay, we got it. That's just, Matt, just get it over with and tell everybody where that song's from so you can just get this over with.
We downloaded the theme song off the internet. It was some guy named Scooch Henderson. And it turns out Scooch was in fact his Christian name. He was given the name Scooch, which wasn't short for anything. And in fact, it wasn't even long for anything. It was simply just Scooch.
You were given the opportunity to really glad hand yourself. You get that opportunity.
It's not about me, John. The show isn't about me.
You get that opportunity a lot.
The show is about the little people who listen.
Anyway, Matt and his band recorded that 30 years ago. And
the hospital patients, the shut-ins, those who listen to the show, that's who counts.
That's recorded. But so we've been on the search. We've got what's going to be the theme song right there. But the problem is finding somebody to talk over it. And we just can't agree. And we can't even agree to disagree.
I haven't even been listening. I've got these earbuds in my head.
I think we agreed to agree to disagree.
One thing that's true about that is I was listening to my podcast from 3 days ago. Funny stuff.
Your podcast?
Sorry, what were you talking about? You were saying something about...
the intro. Anyway, that's
I love that intro.
That's why we didn't get it, because I said to Matt, I put my foot down, no. We're not doing one more show until we get the intro done. And we still don't have it done.
No, that's not exactly what you said. Actually, what you actually said was, I'm not doing another show until I get the intro done.
I sent it in a message, and that's how you read it. And I don't even know what that
came off an email. That's
what that speaks to of your inner psychology.
Yeah, you don't.
What's going on?
You don't want to see the inside, John. The inside is where it hurts the most. The outside is like the big doughboy. Hey, what's a stupid?
You know what?
There?
Your inner child needs to get a life.
You know, my imaginary friend has an imaginary friend. I mean, this is where we're at. This is where we've come to. Yeah. Did you know that?
So today we're gonna bring back an old chestnut. It was one of the popular items from back in the day of the Speakeasy.
That was
for those
a funny
of you
show.
that remember, that was a funny show.
The Speakeasy was a little something me and John cobbled together.
Yeah.
On a little radio station that was driven into the ground like a Hindenburg or a Titanic or a 9/11. Any one of those scenarios would apply to what happened.
By the way, did you hear there's a new Edmund Fitzgerald that just happened off the coast of the United States?
Are you serious?
Like huge tanker, like a huge
with
carrier.
Iron ore?
I don't know if it's iron, but the thing's gone.
Really?
It's gone.
Where did it go?
Well, it ran into like hurricane force, and it's gone. It's the new Edmund Fitzgerald.
I wonder if Gordon Lightfoot's got another song left in him. I bet they
he's
phoned him right away.
He's got to get on
Gordon, there's a big tanker loud near the Bermuda Triangle there.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I have feared this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last that was 7.5 minutes. I'm going to have to do 12 on this one.
Yeah, he will.
Okay, I'll call you back on Thursday.
Really?
And off he went. And then Thursday, he phoned the ring. Hello, it's Gordon. I've got 12 lyrics. I got 12 verses.
Well, Gordon, we're kind of hoping you'd use a slightly different melody.
I thought you might say that, so I got a different version. There's a freighter who goes out into
you really think
the ocean.
So you think Gordon Lightfoot would decide to mimic Stairway to Heaven?
Just like the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Anyway, that's unfortunate. Hurricanes do that.
What I just did there was unfortunate. Yeah,
that was very unfortunate.
Anybody, you know what? Going out into the ocean, John, here's my thoughts. Going up in the air, going underground, or going out on water. You know what human beings shouldn't do? Any of those. All of those.
Because we basically have evolved to be land dwellers.
Here we are, 30,000 feet in the air. Well, we're at 30,000 feet, and the plane's breaking up. Everyone, you should be fine.
Of course it's breaking up.
You're going 500 miles an hour, 30,000 feet above the ground, and gravity is a law.
So if you had your choice, and your only choice was this, to live under the ground, on the water, or in the air.
In the air.
Really?
For the view.
For the view.
I would do it just for the view alone. Underwater, you're down 100 feet, and you're going, oh, my air tank just ran out of air. Well, I'll just, 100 feet. Geez, that's quite a ways up. I'll just breathe water till I get to the top.
No, but picture this. Picture it like this. A biodome.
Okay, stop.
A biosphere.
Stop.
No, I'm not stopping. A biosphere under the ground, under the water, or somehow suspended by technology in the air, like flying around the earth.
Okay.
Or let's add a different element. Let's add space to that option.
Okay, underwater, you're underwater, and Paul Watson comes sailing overhead, and he goes, let's just dump all our garbage over here, and then it drifts down, hits your biosphere, cracks it, boom, you're dead.
Okay, so you're taking that off the list.
Now you're 60,000 feet up in the air.
No, that you're 35,000. You're cruising altitude.
So you're 35,000 feet in your biosphere. Paul Watson decides, environmental crusader Paul Watson says, we need to get rid of the styrofoam. Why don't we just inject it up into the atmosphere where it'll burn up?
You think? I didn't know.
He shoots it up with a slingshot. It hits your biosphere. Boom, you're down again.
Okay, you're under the earth. You're in the earth.
Paul Watson.
Wow.
Right?
Okay, forget that one.
Has to defecate. So he gets off his boat onto the planet.
Digs a hole.
And guess who's down below the hole without him knowing? You
in your biosphere.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in space.
Paul Watson.
Okay, that's about enough of that. So that's great. I don't think I choose underwater. I kind of get claustrophobic underwater.
You know who I like? Paul Watson. There's something about that guy that really rubs me right here. You see where I'm pointing?
So
I'm pointing? He rubs me.
The new old chestnut.
Right here.
The new old chestnut that somehow we got away from is called the Best of Salt Spring Exchange.
That old chestnut.
That's what we're doing. We're going to do that shortly. That's coming up.
And what that was, of course, in case you're just tuning in and you're from far away.
Can you really explain to people that might be far away?
Watch this. On Salt Spring Island, on the internet, there's a website called the Salt Spring Exchange. And what it is an electronic bulletin board where you, me, that guy over there, her, him, those guys.
Yep.
I don't care that they're gay. Do you care that they're gay?
No.
Are you sure you don't care that they're gay?
I love that they're gay.
They can all post anything on the Salt Spring Exchange, and anything by anything I mean like used condoms for sale.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One owner, low mileage.
Yeah.
Or
free OBO.
Free OBO. Yeah. $7 or best offer. You could post need roommate.
Yeah.
Am schizophrenic and will kill said roommate.
Yeah.
Non-smoker.
Yeah.
Right. And these kind of things, you can post that on there. So we're going to go and extract things from the list and share them with
We're
you.
going to
so
extract
you know
the gems. There's gems.
Yeah.
These
are or chestnuts.
There's a lot of alternative people. You don't like chestnuts because we're coming into chestnut season.
If you're a squirrel, it's chestnut season. Have you ever got a chestnut and roasted it and then eaten it and gone, that's disgusting? It tastes like chestnut.
That song, Jack Frost roasting on an open fire.
Chestnuts ripping at my nose.
Ripping at your nose. Really?
The legend lived on from the Chippewa down.
I've had roasted chestnuts because
chestnut they
obviously
called.
That's the kind of family I grew up with. And I've had roasted chestnuts. And they were a little rubbery and a bit burny. They were hot.
Yeah.
I didn't like them at all.
And then they sit in your intestines. Well, here, let me just show you this picture I found on the internet. Look at this. This is an X-ray of a chestnut.
What the hell is the? What do you mean?
This is an X-ray of a chestnut in your intestine. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen a close-up of a chestnut in your intestine?
No, that's what that is, though.
Yeah, it's like swallowing a golf ball, John. It's not.
Well, chestnuts look like testicles, kind of like, but I don't mean like I don't mean a scrotum, like the. I mean what a testicle would look like if you extracted it from the sack. I think that's what a chestnut looks like.
How much time? Can I ask you a question? How much time have you used up imagining that?
Well,
quite a bit.
No, I'd say just the last couple of seconds. I haven't spent really much time thinking about that. Although there are nuts that do resemble nuts, right? There's walnuts. Walnuts. As a matter of fact, that's a term that you use for male genitalia. Walnuts.
It's a term I've never, ever used for my particular male genitalia. Mind you, I call it sandy, so it doesn't really matter.
I thought you called yours coconuts.
No, not anymore.
Because walnuts look like testicles, and the scrotal sac. They
Could
look
you
like,
do me a favor, a small favor?
And they look. Don't say scrotal sac.
Never say the word scrotal sac again.
Scrotal pouch.
That's better.
Which is not working for you? The word sac or the word pouch?
Sac.
Sac's not working.
Yeah. It's just, you know what, and I'll be honest, it's probably just me.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. I'm sure the next guy would enjoy
Interestingly enough, walnuts also look like human brains. So from that we can say, and it shouldn't be surprising.
It's kind of a straight line between the two.
That testicles and a scrotal pouch are like a human brain.
I would say like a human brain. I would say it would be impossible to tell one from the other.
In males, they are the human brain.
Okay, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. For all the old fans, and I know there was at least a lot.
Yeah.
You know who I got an email from today? Brian Johnson. You know who Brian Johnson is?
He's the lead singer of AC/DC.
That's correct. He emailed and said, "Aye, mate." Oh, is he English or Australian?
He's a Geordie boy.
Aye, mate. He said, "Good day."
He played with an Australian band, though.
Great show, and stick with it, man. We listen to you a lot on the road. And then I just deleted it. I didn't know what to say back. So
what can you do? You got to delete that.
Anyway, he's a bit of a prick. So what we got here tonight, right about now, is the saltspringexchange.com is an electronic bulletin board website.
Have we agreed to give them free press? Did we talk about that?
An electronic bulletin board website that you can post anything. You got something for sale, post it. You want to buy something, you need a place to live, you need someone killed.
Yeah, there's lots of murders on the exchange.
You want to find a soulmate?
Same
funny,
thing.
Eh?
Same thing.
It's funny. People looking for soulmates.
You want to find a life partner? You want to get killed?
You want massage? Do you want a mechanic? Do you want a mechanic who does massage? Right?
Do you want
the list? Salt Spring Exchange.
Do you want an antique $300 wicker chair?
Salt Spring Exchange.
Do you want a free washer dryer?
.com is where you would go to do all that. So what me and John do is we stock.
Well, actually, that's not exactly how it works because I don't even do that. I don't even look at the way this works is you pick some out and then you read them. I have no. I think. Can I ask you right now? Yeah. Have you agreed that I have not looked at your list?
Yes, I do agree that the three things I chose from the exchange tonight John has not seen or heard before. That
Correct.
is absolutely true.
And if I did, it's strictly coincidental that when I was browsing the exchange, I might
You
have
saw
seen
the same
them.
ads and thought that would have been good fodder.
But usually when I look at the exchange, I either look for just stuff about me, or sometimes if there's pornography references on the exchange, which neither. I've never run into either of those.
And nothing about you and pornography in the same posting?
Not on that particular website.
You have to go to the, what do they call it, the alter web or the after web?
Yeah, the afterweb. It opens up at midnight and goes on till about 4 a.m.
That's the web. Anyway, so if you're not there yet and it's still early in the day, you can just listen to us, and we're going to go through the saltspringexchange.com and pull out a few nuggets here. And John, the one thing
Okay, fine, go.
The one thing I enjoyed...
I don't like that word. You don't like the word sack. I don't like the word nuggets. All right? I do not like the word
scrotum nuggets.
Nugget sack.
You're right.
See?
That's unpalatable.
That is unpalatable.
Okay, so off we go. I found 3 things. I like them all for different reasons.
Okay.
As was always the case on the old show. Remember the old show?
I do.
Remember you were drunk and I was stupid? And then you were drunk and I was stupid.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Anyway, here we go. I found 3 little chestnuts. So here's chestnuts is good, right?
Nuggets, fine, not nuggets.
Here, listen to this, John. I lost my black iPhone in between the JB's Salt Spring Auto Parts and the Wellness Center on Hereford Avenue in Ganges. Now, for those of you who don't know Ganges, and of course that would be probably all of you, that would be a distance of 50 yards.
Maybe.
60 yards on the outside, 40 yards more likely. So between the auto parts store and the Wellness Center, because clearly this person is, I'm going to say a woman. I don't know that.
Yeah, that's a safe and logical assumption.
Oh, hold on. Let me finish then, John.
Yeah. Oh.
It is a picture of a cat and a horse on the screensaver.
Okay, it's a woman. But let me ask you this: if they know precisely where it is, because this is precise.
Yeah. No.
Did they even go back and look, or did they just get lazy and post this and hope somebody else is going to pick it up and bring it to them?
How do you know you lost between those 40 yards? That's what throws me. Okay,
did they look? So the only way they would know for sure is if they looked at their iPhone, right?
The one they lost.
Yeah, the one they lost when they were at point A.
Yeah.
And then they walked.
Said, "See you later, auto parts."
And then they checked. No, they put it away, or something happened to it.
Did.
And then somewhere in there, for the next 50 yards, they must have looked up at their iPhone and realized it wasn't in their hand. They must have looked at their iPhone and realized, I'm not looking at anything. At which point you would think that you turn around
and backtrack.
And it's basically going to be right there.
Well, you would think so, but instead she went to the list.
Yeah.
Put a posting on the list saying, I lost my iPhone in within 40-yard stretch of walking. And then I have a cat and a horse on the screensaver. And check this out. If you've seen it, I'm an organic grower.
You want
to know where this is going?
Do these people want their stuff back?
I'm an organic grower, so can repay you in goods from the farm. Okay. Let's summarize. Let's pull back a bit here. Let's overview this thing. Leaves the auto part place. Why is her car broken? Poor maintenance.
What is with this place?
Right. Goes to the wellness center, loses said phone, goes to the exchange, posts an ad that says, lost said phone, have no money to pay you because I'm an organic farmer, but I can give you some apples and a half-grown pineapple.
Do you know what I'm sick of?
And somebody's sitting there with this iPhone looking at the exchange going, that sounds pretty sweet.
Do you know what versus selling it for like $120 on eBay.
He can go to North Korea.
Do you know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of people trying to trade bounty on the Salt Spring. Bountiful vegetable goodness. Because that's what people are offering. Delicious, organic, vegetable bounty.
427 Hemi needs rebuild. Complete top to bottom, camshafts, rings, crank, everything. We'll trade for apples.
It's basically like
have apples as payment.
Yeah, it's basically like going to the Arctic, and then an Inuit offering to
Eskimo. I think they call them Eskimos now.
Offering. Did they go back?
I think they've gone back to Eskimo.
An Esquimalt.
So an Eskimo
anyway, they got their snowmobile, or you got a snowmobile, and they fix it. And in exchange, you give them snow. Like, I have apples, I have vegetables, I have a garden. Everybody's got one. Don't trade for your veggie goodness. Your veggie goodness is no betterness than my veggie goodness.
It says, I'm an organic grower. Are you an organic grower? No, you're not, John.
I'm not organic. Is she organic?
Well, she says, I'm an organic grower. I don't know if that means she grows organic.
I've got a vaccination scar the size of Texas on my arm.
I know, I saw
that.
It looks like Texas,
there's nothing but I'm not organic. I'm pumped full of stuff. If you're born in my generation, like you were born in the 50s.
Yeah, 58.
They were pumping you full of like Agent Orange.
Yeah, they thought we were going to die of the nuclear holocaust, which happened. So they said inject you full of radioactive juice,
anything,
just to go. Okay, if the bomb does hit, this should counteract that.
Yeah, exactly.
You sure, Mr. Principal?
It was the 50s. That's what the 50s were all about.
50s were all about guessing.
And then in the 60s, go, whoa, you can't do that. So they get a.
Hey man, you can't do that. Is what they said.
Put a cocktail of like biological weaponry in a syringe, and they stick it in your arm, and it makes a pit the size of a friggin' large Texas-style donut.
We all have those. It's like when you go into a club. It's like, hi, what's your name? Oh, my name's Susie. I gotta check this out, Susie, and then you show her this thing. Oh, that's really great.
Okay, so we've decided that was a person who lost their iPhone somehow and they're lazy. Next.
Next, it gets worse. This guy I like because he wants to work. Labor work needed before Friday.
So is he looking for work? Or does he?
Yes.
Okay.
Hard-working young man needs work before the weekend, can chop wood, mow grass, grunt work, etc., have island references, have guests coming for Thanksgiving and in need. Please call Jordan. I like this for a bunch of reasons. One, he's willing to work. Number two, it's Monday, and he's going, oh, for sake, the family.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that cocoa, what a bender.
I better get some work drummed up.
Christ. Okay, blackberries. What can I do? I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm a drunken cokehead.
Wow, you're really.
Okay, I can do blackberries. Okay, I'll do it. I'll wood chip. I'll skin blackberries.
Yeah.
I'll peel blackberries. I should phone him up going, I need my blackberries peeled.
And so exchange, he wants like a Thanksgiving weekend. Like he wants a full Thanksgiving thing to be furnished to him.
He doesn't say it, but John, I think between you and me, I think sexual favors. If you phone him up and said,
that's what you get from that,
I've got some arbutus that needs bucking. And I wouldn't mind.
Okay, if you're saying arbutus that needs bucking,
I wouldn't mind sexual favors as well.
Obviously, sexual favors.
Do you do sexual favors? And he'd be like, "Oh, the family's coming on Thanksgiving." Yeah, I do sexual favors. And then he would come over and he'd do your blackberries, buck your thing, and then sexual favor you real good.
But I don't get it. Why? Like, I don't know.
I know. I don't
all
like
I'm
it
saying
either.
is most people usually plan their Thanksgiving weekend with their family with a little bit more than 4 days.
Notice, yeah. Well, when you're high in coke all the time, John.
Well, I think it's interesting that you're going that direction because he might not be high in coke. He might be. No,
Jordan. If you're listening, if you're listening right now, Jordan,
you're probably right. He's probably high.
Call us. Our number's 7, and we can talk to you. And
that's my lucky number.
And this doesn't have to be like this, Jordan. Next time around, next year, when Thanksgiving shows up a year later on the exact same date, and you only thought about it 3 days before. We can work with that. We can maybe make it 6 or 7 days before.
I've got an idea, and it's bold, and he's going to lose face a little bit. Cancel Thanksgiving this year.
I love it already.
And just start working towards next year's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And can you imagine how good next year's Thanksgiving
if he gets he only has to make $1 a day, and he's got a $365 Thanksgiving.
Turkey's $50.
More, it's $369 because he's got the extra 4 days.
And he's got a turkey's $50. Alcohol, you're $150 in.
Yeah.
A few sweets, $200 tops.
He's still got extra coin left over for the Coke and whatever else he.
Jordan, call us, Jordan. And last but not least, and I'm not even going to read the ad. All I have to do is read the headline, the actual ad title.
And then and then you're not going to read the ad.
I didn't even copy and paste the ad because the title kind of said it all.
All right.
And I feel we can stop right after this. As soon as I've said this, I think this bit is done.
Just like that.
Just like that. Now listen up. Are you ready?
Okay, well, wait a second. So I'm not allowed to react?
Oh no, react. I want you to react.
But if I react, can I react like verbally, or do you want me to just go, oh, and then the bit's done, or should I try and react now?
No. Wait till I say what I mean.
Here, let me try reacting first, okay? That's crazy. That's funny. No. That's depressing.
No,
that saddens me.
No,
I like clowns.
I think your reaction is going to be more of an awkward silence.
17. That's my reaction.
Okay. Well, can I read the?
Okay. We'll see if I was accurate on any of those.
Okay, here we go. This is all I copied. I didn't even do the ad. It says here, and I quote, "Free eyelash tint with facials."
17.
I rest my case.
Honestly,
I rest my case, John.
Matt, okay, I'm extending this a little while because this is really important.
We've touched on something very important here, haven't we? Free eyelash tint with facials.
And you wonder why when immigrants come to this country, they get confused by our language.
The guy shows up at your door. I'm here for the tint and the facial. Great, come on in.
Great, here's the tint. Now, if you'll just assume this position.
No, I was thinking that you were talking about I was.
But listen to me. Can we please clear this up? If you're in the spa industry or in the in another, speaking of words I hate, pamper. I hate the word pamper. Pamper.
Yeah, I know.
I want to be pampered. And when somebody says that, if a woman tells me she wants to be pampered,
you're gone.
What am I going to do?
No. Well, I know what you're not going to do.
I almost get sick at the thought of putting a large diaper on us.
I know what you're not going to do, and that will be pamper her.
Please pamper me.
Pamper means roll them in flour and feed them.
So speaking of screwed
up
terminology, pamper is another one. But this facial thing has to really be dealt with.
We have to clear the term facial. Of course, has been hijacked by the porn industry.
Has it ever?
Like something innocent like a facial.
If you're a European and you watch pornography, which is every European,
which bar none,
and every North American, as it turns out, and everybody in the world. So if you're a person who watches the pornography, you know that that's a terminology, and you know what it's for. So imagine if you're European and you're moving here, and you see a service, right? You're a gentleman.
You're walking down the street. Dum-da-dum.
And you see a service and it goes free massage with a free facial.
Free eyelash tint.
And a facial. You're probably not going to go in there for business.
You can just imagine
if
how
you're
awkward.
A man,
I know,
you're not going there for business. And if you're a woman, you're not going in there.
Either way, you're not going in.
Yeah, nobody wants that. I don't care how dry your skin is, how clogged your pores are.
Yeah.
You do not need a facial.
My eyelashes are tired. I'm thinking of tinting them. Oh, well, you've come to the right place. I was hoping for a facial as well. Oh, yeah. Well, hold on a sec. There you go. Ah!
That was fast.
Right? And you walk out of there going, well, my eyelashes it's a nicer tint. I'll give them that. But that facial, I didn't expect.
Well, that's the end of that. That's the end of thank you. That was the best one. You did say the best one. Let's talk about the election.
Which one? As you said earlier on the phone, which election, John? The American one or the American election?
We have 3 foot races going on right now.
We've got the American election between Trump.
We've got the primaries, the Democratic and Republican. Yeah. The Democratic one's kind of boring. Hillary, although I love Bernie Sanders. Donald Trump and as it turns out, Jeb Bush yesterday. He has a quote that's interesting. It's making things a little bit more interesting.
What did he say, John?
Well, there was a mass shooting in Oregon.
Yes, I do.
10 people killed, including the shooter,
and a bunch of injured. Yes,
a bunch of injured, and Jeb Bush said, well, stuff like this happens.
Now, technically, he's right.
Yeah, he is.
Spiritually,
I think on a moral platform, he's not doing great because,
technically, stuff like that does, in fact, happen. And in fact, quite often it happens.
In the United States. Yeah, all over the place.
What kind of man was he? He went in and he shot 12. He was quiet.
Yeah.
Really,
it's always that.
He kept to himself. He just...
But this one, they didn't say that. Like I heard somebody talk about this guy. That they didn't say that. They said he was
weird and creepy.
Yeah, that's what they said. A neighbor said that.
Okay,
but the problem is, if I call the cops on every weird and creepy person I bump into,
guy,
the cops would never stop racing around.
It's really a fine line between turning in your neighbor who's done nothing and stopping a mass shooting.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's a fine line. I'll give you that.
I encourage you to, if you have a weird neighbor that seems like they're doing it, just break into their house to see what's going on.
Let's err on the side of caution here. Turn your neighbors in.
Yeah, just turn them in.
Turn them in.
So we've got that election to talk about, and we've got our own Canadian election, which you're
okay. Let's count to 3, and you say you're going to vote for, and I'll say I'm going to vote for. And then in this Canadian election, don't mix it up with the American one.
I'm not telling you who I'm voting for.
No, I'll count to 3.
I'm not telling you.
Say something else and throw me off. I'm going to count to 3. Canadian election, not American. Don't confuse the two. Okay?
I'm not ready.
1,
just give me a second to think here.
2, 3, Trump.
Paul Watson. You can't vote in the Trump election. And
is he not running in Canada?
No, he's
Pierre
not.
Elliott Trump?
Oh, you think Trudeau's are equivalent?
Sorry,
Hardly.
what did I say?
Pierre Elliott Trump.
Okay, I see. I confuse the two. They're so similar in ideology. They're
my problem with Justin Trudeau is that he's not his father. You know what his father?
So he's a Hank Williams Jr. of politicians.
Do you know what his father had?
Charisma,
swagger. His father had swagger.
You know what he had in spades? Cocksuredness.
He sure did.
He married a woman.
He was the just watch me guy.
72 years younger than him.
Margaret. And then she had an affair with Mick Jagger.
And then he invoked the
War
Measures Act. And somebody said to him, how far will you go? And he said...
Far enough to reach the ground.
No. He said, just watch me.
That's what he said.
How far will you go? And he said, just watch me like I'm Putin.
Yeah.
He predicted Putin. He was like, Putin probably looks at tapes of Trudeau going, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the cut of his jib, eh?
The more I see Putin acting in comparison to what's going on with American stuff, the more I like the guy.
You got to like the guy. He's in head of Russia. Okay, so picture his spot. Russia's got a fair bit of history. I don't know what you know about Russian history, but it's quite significant.
They've got some tyrannical history.
A lot of killing, a lot of tyrants, a lot of czars, a lot of maniacs,
and
a lot of leaders killing their own people, a lot of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people revolting against the government, killing them, and then they kill them all back. And
there's a lot of killing
Putin's
back and
in charge, and he's keenly aware of all that.
Yeah.
He knows the history of that country, and he is fucking nuts.
Well, the thing about Putin is he's and Russia is they're not running around like doing like the States are doing. States they're like throwing darts at the globe now and airstriking.
Which is what I like about the States. The fact they don't really care about foreign policy. It's just, hey, United States, Burma called and they called you a nuthead.
Well, that is foreign
United States
policy.
Like, oh,
no, the United
Burma.
States will just say, okay, so how much oil is there in Iraq? And then they'll go and bomb Iraq again.
Is that how they do it?
Yeah, they do.
It's all about oil. Is it really all about oil?
I think it might be.
I don't think it is.
Well, because my argument for that is in Nigeria, there's the Boko Haram wandering around.
Oh, yeah, those guys. They're not good, are they?
One of the most messed up countries in the world.
I'll say.
And there's human rights violations like you wouldn't believe. And the United States don't seem to care. But in Syria, wait a second.
Yeah.
You know, there's oil like spilling out of drains there, out of your sink drain. And so they care. It is, Matt. It's oil. You know.
You said there's oil coming out of the sink drains.
Yeah, this isn't a conspiracy here. This is just it's
economics.
Always
been about oil.
This
John.
is economics.
It goes way back. And even when they weren't fighting those countries and they were just simply propping them up, it was because of oil.
I think Stephen Harper might be a psychopath. Like
Are you sure?
In a non-violent sense.
Like a bus driver who's had a bad day.
I think he's the kind of guy that would walk up and like kick a puppy in the ribs and look at it and write down his observation of the pain that the puppy seemed to show, and then close the book and walk away.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Puppy squealed, puppy writhed, puppy cowered, puppy ran away, and then and then close.
Wonder what I'll have for dinner.
Yeah.
You think that's Stephen Harper?
Yeah, I don't think he has any empathy.
I think summing him up that way is pretty good.
Because they show him at hockey games a lot, and when he's in a game, the team will score a goal, and everybody will jump up and leap to their feet, and he'll look around and he'll open up this little book. He's referring to something. He's going back.
Right.
And I bet you if you looked, it would say,
show emotion.
Home team scores goal, cheer. And then he looks around, and then he'll get up and cheer. And then he'll put more eye makeup on, brush his hair flat.
Like you might have have his eyelashes tinted.
Speaking of hockey, I just want to quickly touch on this. This is a weird thing. Maybe you can...
Ladies, just if you're listening, this is when you want to leave. We're going... we're shifting gears here.
This isn't really about hockey, but there was a lengthy suspension today handed out.
And this isn't really about hockey, but what happened?
I don't think it is.
It's a personal...
Raffy got 41 game suspension. Raffy did.
Now, I'm not sure if I'm following this correctly. Raffy
clubbed
some guy in an exhibition game, ran him, gave him a headshot with an elbow.
Raffy did.
Knocked the guy out, concussed him.
Yeah.
And he got a 41 game suspension.
It's the seventh time Raffy has hit somebody in the head, pounded them in the head, and they've gone down, and he's been warned many times.
Yeah, well, he's had 4 previous suspensions.
Yeah, and he gets suspended without pay. And I didn't think he really was the kind of person to do that. And to tell you the truth, I didn't think he played hockey.
Now hold on. You said
Raffy.
And who's he play for? Anaheim?
The San Jose Sharks.
San Jose Sharks?
Yeah.
Raffy, baby
Beluga.
And
he used to be a hometown guy here too. Well, I
true.
think so. I don't know how many Raffys there are out there.
There's a gentleman who plays for the San Jose Sharks, not the San Jose Beluga Whales.
Yeah. Boy, that's funny. Just a second. You okay? All right.
Anyway, there's a guy that plays for the San Jose Sharks named Raffi Torres.
Oh.
You said Raffi, the guy Raffi Torres, who's a longtime NHL. He's probably 10, 12 years in the league.
You're kidding me.
Did this
I
hit
just
today.
saw the name Raffi. And
No. Oh, and you thought it was the beloved folk singer, child entertainer.
Yeah.
Child honorer and author of Baby Beluga. Really, just a classic. No, that's funny.
Because I've been hashtagging like Raffi, the headshot artist, and
Oh, you were on Facebook and you
no, on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
You know what? You probably shouldn't have said that.
Raffi the monster.
You probably shouldn't have said that.
Well,
but
I couldn't believe it. So it's not.
But nobody disputed. Nobody got back to you and said, no, you mixed him up with Raffi Torres. Everyone just assumed Raffi was throwing headshots.
So it's not Raffi Kevorkian, then it's Raffi Torres.
I don't know. Raffi Kevorkian sounds... I like the sound of that. There's something... Was his dad that guy that killed people?
I don't know. I might have got that wrong too. Apparently my sources are all screwed up today.
Is it Wikipedia again?
Yeah.
I like Wikipedia. A lot of people badmouth it, but I don't know.
Wikipedia is fading.
It's always been good to me.
It's fading fast, it seems, though. They're always looking for money. Their founder, Julian Valsange.
I think it's Jebediah.
He's like in exile. He's like living in a church that's inside an embassy.
No, you're thinking of Charles Manson. You've got your freedom fighters mixed up.
Did you? I heard I saw there's a new Hell's Angels documentary show. Oh no, I know the documentary, not the the TV show. It's about Hitler being alive. And I thought about you. There's a new TV show coming out
because I'm alive.
Saying not that he'd be alive now, because now he'd be 117 or whatever. Yeah. But speculated that Hitler did not kill himself and that he ran away. He escaped because the DNA from they got from the skull, which they exhumed or something, where the skull with the bullet, all that stuff. It turned out that skull was that of a female.
Oh my God! Like Eva Braun?
Well, no. So they had Eva Braun. They knew it was Eva Braun, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they sent 2 broads down to the bunker.
Or possibly Hitler was a woman.
Well, that makes sense.
Couldn't it be? Wouldn't that be a shot at the feminist movement? Wouldn't that set them back a few years?
Maybe, okay.
Because
you know what?
feminists are always, if women ran the world.
Maybe you're onto something here. So if we go back to 1945.
There's Hitler.
May of 45, Berlin.
There's Hitler.
You got the Russians on one side coming in. You got the Americans on the other.
The British.
The British, everything.
You've got like four Canadian guys.
You know what's going on. The writing's on the wall.
You've got like the Australians. They're
they
in
weren't
Australia.
up there. No, they didn't know. Anyway. So Hitler's going, okay, I've got the bunker. I can go down into this sort of dead-end bunker where I can't get out of.
Yeah.
Or I could send Eva Braun down and her sister Helga.
Yeah. And
hey, Helga, come here. I want to... And he paints like some quick mustache on her.
Off both of them.
Here, I'm just going to do a little painted mustache, like Groucho Marx. That guy's funny, eh?
Yeah, like that.
Isn't he Jewish, Hitler? No, don't worry about that. Dude, the mustache.
He's funny.
She goes down. She goes, oh, my God, we're going to get killed. And she kills herself.
Yeah.
They think it's Hitler. Boom. He's down in... Where is he?
Buenos Aires, somewhere down there, with Goring and Heimlich.
I mean, that would just be clever for him not to have gone down into the bunker. I wouldn't have.
Anyway, this show they're going to be researching this pretty hard.
Yeah, that's serious stuff,
and it will be quite interesting.
Oh,
it'll be almost as riveting as my favorite Finding Bigfoot.
You're talking about the monster truck?
Yeah. Was there a monster truck called Bigfoot? You're right.
There was. Is that what you're talking about? That. It was in Wisconsin. Finding
cool.
Bigfoot, you just go to Wisconsin.
Is it still there?
Yeah, Green Bay.
Do they still have it?
Yeah.
They still have Bigfoot.
I saw Bigfoot. I saw Bigfoot at a...
But how does Bigfoot compare now to other monster trucks? Is it like little?
It's a name that... It was like B.B. King. He had a guitar named Lucille.
Yeah.
He had 40 guitars named Lucille.
Because I remember in the 70s, you know who was bad? Kiss was bad.
Oh, yeah. They had an album called
Ozzy
Destroyer.
Osbourne bad.
Ooh. War Pigs.
And Twisted Sister, man, they were weird.
What did they do?
And they were the most extreme musicians out there. So we thought they were extreme. And the next thing you know, friggin' Marilyn Manson walks in.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, this guy, he makes those guys look like pop rock.
Yeah. And he was androgynous.
That's what I'm wondering about. Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was amazing.
Good point.
But are there other cars out there that are just like twice the size, shinier,
that's
bigger? All that.
Oh, they're the Gravedigger. Gravedigger came along and gave Bigfoot a run for the money.
How the hell can you make that bridge that? Like, it goes from being like a gravedigger. How does a car become a gravedigger?
Well, they try to intimidate, Bigfoot, Gravedigger, it's like Satan's choice.
I'd understand if they called the Undertaker or I know what, Nessie. Or Chupacabra.
Well, these are the people who...
It's Chupacabra.
The people who run these monster trucks, you have to remember, they're inbred. They're inbred cousins.
Are they ever?
They have sex with cousins, and then they have children who also have sex with cousins.
Or brothers and sisters.
And then they get into monster trucks.
Yeah. And they can't... They don't
in that context, it makes sense.
Basically, when these people arrive to these events, they put them in a quiet room just so they can get a benchmark for what a concussion might look like with these people, because you can't tell.
Between you and me, I went to a monster truck thing in BC Place, and I'm not proud of this, John, but you ever heard of LSD, John?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. It's liquid sodium dimethanol.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what I'm trying to say to you, John, I went to a monster truck.
You dropped acid and watched monster trucks.
I didn't say that.
Okay, but you didn't not drop acid and not watch monster trucks?
But let me tell you something. If I had done that and I went to BC Place and watched the monster truck thing with one of my nut job friends, it probably would have seemed quite overt.
Was it bizarre? Would it have seemed bizarre if that
loud.
had happened?
It was spectacle. It was hillbilly.
But did the monster trucks, did anything happen, like weird skeletons falling out?
That's so
it wasn't like
interesting.
A real sweet...
LSD doesn't work like that,
You
John.
have been listening
LSD
to, I probably shouldn't say this, but with John Bateman and Matt Steffich. Full podcasts available at ipsstb.com. Tune in next Tuesday.